on in a double sleeping bag doesn't get things done. Freedom is a drag. Chuck your principles. Don't stand up and fight. You won't get democracy if you yell all night.
The 26th Amendment is important to us because it gives younger voters the opportunity and right to exercise their power.
The 20th century consisted of war, traditional standards, and many social and political issues. With war came the drafting of young men as young as 18. The draft was so essential during times of war, the drafting age range quickly expanded from ages 21 to 36 to ages 18 to 37. But while the drafting age changed, the voting age remained the same at 21. Americans under the age of 21 were not represented in the voting polls, but were expected to leave home and fight in different countries at age of 18, 19, and even 20. Eventually, people began questioning the logic of the dilemma, promoting the old enough to fight, old enough to vote era. These so-called rebels, often referred to as baby boomers, have struck the very foundation of America's civil society, the majority of which were young adults that strive for political and social reform.
All of our young people between 18 and 21, 11 million new voters as a result of this amendment that you now will see certified by the GSA administrator.
The power to vote goes hand in hand with freedom of speech. The power of words can greatly influence the way people think, their actions, their beliefs, and their votes. Student activism serves as a great and constant reoccurring example of younger voters exercising their power and influence to vote.
And demonstrations in the 60s and 70s, for example, without it, America would not have seen and been inspired by the political and cultural progressions that has greatly impacted us today. While students and young adults had the mighty ambition to enforce change, their power was limited because of their age. Sure, they had great progressive goals when it came to civil rights, women's liberation, gay rights, etc., but they had no access to the voting booths.
Students and young adults today are becoming more and more progressive. They are encouraged to vote and make important decisions for our country. Voting provides a lot of insight on political and national issues. Social media site Twitter has become a very popular site to voice opinions and provide information about national and global issues.
Obama's 2008 campaign served as a prime example of youth influence in the voting booths. The graph represents the outcome of the 2008 Obama versus McCain election and the voters represented in it. The graph states that the millennials and Generation X voters dominated the Democratic vote, where 66% of millennials voted Democrat and 32% voted Republican. A similar trend followed with the Generation X voters. 52% took sides with the Democratic Party and 46% Republican. Voters ranging from ages 18 to 30 had tremendous influence in the 2008 campaign.
While many disapproved the outcome of the 2008 election, many did not agree with and even blamed the 26th Amendment. In fact, many adults and even some students and younger people opposed it during the 1960s and even today. Their claim is that the rebellious, progressive attitude from younger voters is threatening to conservative America. Aims to legalize gay marriage and equality has been promoted and expressed, especially through young Americans, many who are under the age of 18. But while many are concerned with the new propositions and attitudes from young Americans,
we must remember that our country and our world is constantly changing, and our youth here today is our future for our country tomorrow.